There are moments in life when you pray, and it feels as if heaven has gone silent. You've been faithful, you've been patient, and yet the answer still hasn't come. You start to wonder if God even hears you anymore. You begin to question, why is he delaying my answer? What did I do wrong? Has he forgotten me? My friend, listen carefully. God's delay is not his denial. His silence is not a sign of rejection. It is a sign of preparation. When God delays your answer, it is not because he doesn't love you. It is because he loves you too much to give you something before you're ready to carry it. The waiting season is not wasted. It is sacred. It's in the waiting that your faith is refined, your character is shaped, and your trust in God becomes real. You see, anyone can praise when the blessings come easily, but it takes deep faith to worship in the dark, to pray when heaven feels closed, to believe when every sign around you says, give up. And the truth is, God often hides his greatest blessings behind seasons of waiting. Not because he's cruel, but because he's wise. Sometimes he withholds an answer because he's building something far greater than what you asked for. While you're asking for a door to open, he's constructing an entire house. While you're praying for one moment of relief, he's writing a lifetime testimony of faith. Delay is not destruction, it's divine construction. God is working in the unseen. He's orchestrating details you cannot comprehend. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but something is shifting in the invisible realm every time you pray. The moment you spoke that prayer, heaven began to move. But the manifestation takes time. Because God is not just changing your situation, he's changing you. Sometimes God delays, because he knows that if he gave you what you asked for too soon, it could destroy you. Blessings given before maturity can become burdens. So he waits. He allows the process to stretch your patience, to deepen your roots, to teach you to walk by faith and not by sight. The delay is not punishment, it's preparation. It's God saying, I'm getting you ready for something greater than you imagine. And when it feels like your prayers are hitting the ceiling, remember this. Faith is not proven when you receive what you want. Faith is proven when you keep trusting God even when nothing changes. Every delay is an invitation to believe again, to trust again, to say, God, I don't understand, but I still believe you are good. I still believe you are faithful. The reason the farmer doesn't harvest the same day he plants the seed. He knows there's a process, watering, waiting, nurturing. The seed must break before it blooms. And that's what your faith journey is like. Your prayers are planted, but they need time to take root. The breaking comes before the blessing. The waiting comes before the miracle. Maybe you've been praying for healing and it hasn't come. Maybe you've been asking God for a breakthrough in your family. It's in your job, in your heart, and it feels like nothing is happening. But don't lose hope. Just because you can't see progress doesn't mean there isn't growth. Sometimes the roots of faith grow deepest in silence. God may be quiet, but he is never still. When God delays, he is not being careless, he is being careful. He's aligning people, timing, and circumstances in ways you could never orchestrate yourself. If he gave you what you wanted right now, it might not last. But when he finishes his work, it will be perfect and permanent. That's why the waiting hurts, because God is doing surgery on your soul. He's removing impatience, doubt, fear, and pride, so that when the blessing arrives, your heart can truly hold it. You see, delay doesn't mean denial. It means destiny is still in progress. God's timing is not measured by your clock, but by his purpose. We want quick answers, instant miracles, and immediate results, but God wants lasting transformation. While we count minutes, God measures maturity. Some of you are praying for doors to open, but God is strengthening your legs so you can stand when they do. Some of you are praying for promotion, but God is building your humility so success doesn't destroy your spirit. Some of you are praying for love, but God is teaching you to be whole before he sends someone to share your heart. Every delay has a divine lesson. Every unanswered prayer has a hidden purpose. There is power in prayer, but there is also power in patience. When you combine prayer with faith and endurance, you create the perfect environment for miracles. The people who see the greatest moves of God are not those who pray once and walk away. They are those who pray, wait, and keep believing even when nothing makes sense. Faith doesn't just move mountains, it endures them. Let me tell you something powerful. God delays to protect you, to direct you, and to perfect you. If He allowed every prayer to be answered instantly, you would never learn to depend on Him. You would start to treat prayer like a transaction instead of a relationship. But God wants your heart, not just your requests. He wants you to seek His presence, not just His power. So when the answer is slow to come, instead of asking God, "Why are you delaying?" start asking God, "What are you developing in me during this delay?" Because waiting seasons reveal what's truly inside you. Do you trust Him only when things are easy? Or do you trust Him when nothing makes sense? Do you worship only when you see blessings? Or do you worship when you see nothing at all? Every great person of faith went through a season of waiting. Abraham waited for the promise. Joseph waited in the prison. David waited in the wilderness. Even Jesus waited in silence before resurrection. Waiting is not weakness. It's the birthplace of strength. Because in the delay, your dependence on God becomes unshakable. Sometimes, God delays your answer because He's preparing someone else's heart too. Maybe your prayer involves another person. Their readiness matters just as much as yours. God sees the full picture. You only see the frame. He's aligning hearts, healing wounds, moving pieces. And when the timing finally arrives, everything will fit perfectly. And you'll understand why the delay was necessary. But here's the danger. In the waiting, the enemy whispers lies. He tells you that God has forgotten you, that your prayers are pointless, that faith doesn't work. Don't listen to him. Silence is not God's rejection. It's the sound of heaven rearranging things in your favor. The devil wants you to give up right before the breakthrough. But that's when you must pray harder, stand firmer, and trust deeper. Because the darkest night always comes right before the dawn, your prayer is not lost. Your words have not vanished. God keeps every tear, every cry, every whisper. They rise before Him like incense. And at the right time, the answer will come rushing in, not 1 second too early, not 1 second too late. There will be a day when you look back and say, "Now I see why God made me wait." You'll realize that the delay wasn't wasted. It was divine. The tears were watering the seeds of your destiny. The silence was shaping the strength of your faith. And when the answer finally comes, it will be more beautiful, more powerful, and more perfect than anything you imagined. So keep praying, keep believing, keep trusting when you don't understand. Because when God delays your answer, He's not denying your request. He's preparing your reward. Your faith is not being ignored. It's being stretched. Your patience is not being punished. It's being perfected. Don't mistake the pause for the ending. God is still writing your story. The waiting room is not the tomb. It's the womb where purpose is born. The very thing that feels like a delay is often the setup for a miracle that will leave you speechless. So today, lift your head and say, "God, even if you're silent, I will still pray. Even if you delay, I will still believe. Even if I don't see it, I will still trust you." That is the kind of faith that moves heaven. That is the kind of prayer that breaks barriers. That is the kind of trust that opens the floodgates of God's blessing. Because faith that waits is faith that wins. And when you hold on through the delay, heaven will open wide, and God will say, "Now you are ready." So keep praying, keep believing, keep standing in faith. Your delay is not denial, it's destiny in disguise. And when the answer finally comes, you'll understand that the wait was never wasted. It was holy, it was necessary, it was love.